Hello, friends. Good morning. Happy Friday. It is Friday. For those of you who have lost track of days, happy Friday. It's Friday at 11, and we're going to do some stretching today. I pulled this goddess squat today, which is a beautiful stretch. So we're going to do some goddess stretching because, so we are. I decided to let my hair air dry today, and now it's like, woo, it's super funny. Okay, so I'm really excited about these stretches, mainly because this is a lot of front opening, vulnerability type stretches. They're a little it's like, whoa, here I am. But also, there are a lot of Ki-Hara stretches that correspond with this, so I'm super excited about it. So we're going to do some real problem solving today and see if we can really dive into this stretch. Now, I want to start off with some just basic stretching for the front. I just realized I didn't turn the camera so you can see me. Let me do that. There we go. That should work out just fine. Sorry about the movement. Yes. All right. We're going to do some basic stretching for the front of your chest, but before we get into the stretch, I want you to go ahead and try that goddess squat just to take stock of where you are today, okay? So stand just like normal. Don't push anything. Don't do anything that doesn't feel good. Go ahead and externally rotate your legs and let them come out as far as you want, and then go ahead and drop down. And just let your body choose where it wants to stop. Right now I'm about here, but I'm not warmed up, I've been sitting on my couch doing nothing. It's not true. I've been doing all sorts of work. And then bring your arms up and wide too, like goalposts, and just kind of see what that feels like to you. Do your legs feel tired already? Mine do a little bit. I feel a little stretch through my inner thighs. This kind of makes it a little hard for me to breathe, I'm not going to lie, but I've been struggling with that lately, and we've got a super windy day and a lot of allergies going on right now. So we'll work on opening up the chest and the lungs. We'll work on opening up our hips to get these legs opened up a little bit more and see what happens. So to start off, say hi to Suri. She's been so photogenic lately. She's like the star of the show. Hi, Bubba. If any of you guys are watching live, be sure to say hi too. I want to know who's here. We're going to start off with a stretch for the front of your shoulders here to really open up this chest. So what I want you to do is find a doorway somewhere. I'm just going to take down this. It might screw up the lighting a little bit. I apologize for that, but I have a big window behind and it just shines right through. So what I want you to do is find your arm in this L position and then put it on the corner against a wall corner or against a doorway. Just kind of find a place where you can be. Your arms should be pretty perpendicular to the floor from here, okay? And then what you're going to do is find this angle here, curl your body in, so you're actually trying to pull yourself towards your elbow, and then use your arm to open you up. Use your body to open you up. So you just pull in for strength, and you open up for stretch. Now, if any of you guys out there have never done Ki-Hara before, you need to know a few things. We're doing resistance stretching, which is a little different than what you're used to when it comes to stretching. We move all the time, so notice I'm moving back and forth. Also, we resist all the time. So if this wall wasn't here, my arm would fly around this way, okay? And the resistance of that is what's pulling me in. That strength trains the muscle. And then as I open up, I'm getting a stretch through the front of my shoulder here, okay? Now the next rule, which is the most important rule, is to stop if anything doesn't feel good. We're problem solving through all these stretches. We're going to actually rotate through all of them today. So we're going to do a small number of repetitions, and then repeat. So if you don't get it the first time around, don't worry about it. Just skip it if it doesn't feel good. Now, hey, it's not a real candle, don't you worry. Okay, now take your arm against the other side of the door, or just flip around, whatever feels good. And curl in for strength. I'm using the strength of my pecs to curl me in. And then I'm just going to twist my body to open up to get the stretch through the front of my shoulder. So you just go in and out, stretching through the front here. If you feel it in the back of your shoulder, just skip it because we're going to come back to it. So open up, this is your stretch. Close it up for strength. Now I would say the most important thing in these stretches is to learn to trust yourself as you're doing this stretch. And what I mean by that is that your muscles are reactive, right? Like if you touch a hot stove, the muscle immediately will pull you away from the stove, even if you don't know what's happening, right? It's a reflex. It's like a quick response. And you don't really have conscious control over that. Like you have to really think hard to keep your hand on a hot stove. Like you have to really overcome your reflex response. So your muscles are also a reflex, right? And they'll stop when it's time to stop. But you have to learn to trust your body to know when to stop. You have to trust your instinct to know when to stop. So really line up with trust right now. It's important. It's really important. So bring your right arm up like this, like you're pulling a train whistle, and grab the outside of your elbow with your other hand. And then you're going to resist like you're pulling both arms apart. And now from here, push open towards the right. This is strength training. And then as you pull across, this is your stretch for the back of your shoulder. And then just trust yourself to know when to stop. It's when you start to feel a good tug, but it doesn't feel uncomfortable. And then you open up. Every time you go into this stretch, you're reinforcing the trust in your body. You're reinforcing that you trust yourself enough to know when to stop, to know if it's painful, to know if there's a problem. Your body knows. You can trust it, right? Imagine if somebody else was pulling your arm, right? Like if it was my arm pulling your arm across. Would you trust me? Would you trust me if I pulled really fast? Probably not. Would you trust me if I took you too far after one rep? Probably not, right? So you want to make sure that you're constantly reinforcing this idea that you're safe, that you can trust, that all's good. And then at that point, it becomes like, the stretch becomes something that you can actually do, right? And it doesn't matter whether you're moving in a small range like this, or whether you're moving in a big range of motion. When you build that trust and you know what your range is, you know what your limits are, then you can do that stretch, regardless of how big or how far you go or whatever's happening, okay? So now bring your left arm up and grab your elbow with the other hand. Open up for strength, pull across for your stretch, and figure out what that limit is where you still feel safe, and then push right back out. And again, if it's a small range, it's okay. Just move like this. It's fine. If that's what you can trust, that's good. If you take yourself past the point of trust, you're breaking the trust. Your muscles will need to be like reinforced again and again and again. That's where we need to do like more problem solving, right? But the more you can stay in that place where the muscle feels safe, then it won't have a reflex response, and you'll start to build real flexibility and mobility. It's pretty awesome. Open for strength and close for your stretch. And you just go back and forth. All right, good work, guys. Now we're going to go into a stretch for the back of your shoulders and your neck. This is a favorite. So bring your right arm across your body, grab your wrist with the other hand, and resist like you're pushing both arms apart. Now again, you want to work within your range where you trust yourself. So you push up for strength. And people always ask, well, how far do I push up? How high do I go? You go until you don't trust it anymore, and then you come right back down, okay? So it's up to you. It's where you feel safe. When you get to the bottom, you can bring your head over to the left and see if you can find some stretch in your neck. And then just go right back up. Reset your head and start over from the top. Up and down. Up for strength, down for stretch. Bring your head to the side. And find that stretch in your neck and shoulder. And then just go up and down. Find the stretch right in the back of your neck. You might have to tilt your head forward a little bit to find it. Sometimes it helps to look up to the right. That might get it. And just find this stretch. Find it in a place that feels the best to you. And we'll just keep moving through, okay? So find the stretch, bring your head to the left, push up for strength, and then down for stretch. Remember to resist and move the whole time, bringing your head to the side. Okay, let's go ahead and switch sides. So bring your left arm to the side here. You're going to cross over your body. Grab your wrist with your right hand and resist like you're pulling both arms diagonally apart. Push up for strength. Continue pushing up while you pull down for your stretch. As you get down into the stretch, just bring your head to the side. Find the stretch in your neck and shoulder. And just go back and forth, up for strength and down for stretch. And bring your head to the side. Find that stretch in your neck. And then as you're moving up and down, make sure that you're moving in a place that you trust. Move in a place that feels really good to your body, that feels safe, that feels like you can resist in a good way. You just really want to find that trust through the whole stretch. Reinforce where you're safe, right? That's very important. Bring your head to the side. Here's your stretch. And just go up and down. Up for strength and down for stretch. Let's do one more. Up for strength and down for stretch. And now we're going to work on the front of your shoulders here. So let's actually go back up to the wall. Here we go. So let's do your right hand. Take your right hand and put it in the door frame. And then what you're going to do is curl in with your body. My arm is completely straight this time. I'm going to pull in. This pulls with my pecs real high up at the top. And then I'm going to turn my body back towards this computer, back towards the TV or wherever you're watching this, until I feel a stretch to the front of my shoulder here. It should be like in your armpit, maybe through your arm. And then you pull back in for your strength training move and open up for your stretch. I like to hold my ribs down in this one because this muscle connects to your rib cage. It's pec minor. It connects to your upper ribs, so it kind of helps to hold your ribs to see if you can get a deeper stretch. Otherwise, your ribs might just move with you, right? So pull in for strength and open for stretch. Remember how important it is to find the trust here. So if you need to move in a smaller range of motion to feel safe, that's okay. If you feel this in the back of your shoulders, skip it because we'll come back to this one. So open up for strength and close for stretch. Oh, so good. Okay. And now we're going to switch sides. So just find the other corner of the door or switch to the other side of the wall. Use your left arm now and put it up in the door frame. And then you're going to curl in. Use your arm to pull you in. And then I'm going to twist my body open, keeping my arms straight, stretching through my armpit here. Remember to only move in a place where you feel safe. And if you don't feel safe, don't do it. Right? Just skip it. We'll revisit or move in a smaller range of motion. Don't take your body into a place where it doesn't feel like you can trust it. Right? If you're like, I'm not sure about this stretch might rip my arm off. Like if those kind of things are coming through your head, then don't do it, right? Just don't get to that point. You have to build up the trust in your muscles so that they know how to work. This is how resistance stretching works. It reinforces the stability in your body so that all your mobility is strong, that every range of motion that you're in, you can get out of. And your body feels really stable and secure in that way. All right. Now, we've done 4 stretches, and those 4 stretches work as a team. They all work together. So we're going to go back to our first stretch and work through them. I'm going to work through these pretty quick because it's most likely that you don't need all 4 stretches. There might be 1 or 2 that didn't work the first time that now you want to work this time. So I'm going to work through them quickly. You can spend as much time as you want on each stretch, okay? Just to make sure we get through them on time. So this one is where your arm is in an L shape, like this. You can see that. And you're going to put it on the door frame, curl in for strength, and open for your stretch. So this is the right arm, and you're twisting in towards your elbow, and then you're pulling open for your stretch. If you do your left arm, you just reverse it. So your left arm will be on the wall, and you come in for strength, and open for stretch. Now, if this stretch feels better than it did the first time you did it, then stick with it, okay? Chances are you don't need this next one. It's usually you're tight in the front, you have a problem in the front, or you have a problem in the back. So if that stretch was fine for you the first time, then go ahead into this one for the back of your shoulders, pushing open to the right and pulling across to the left. Open for strength and close for stretch. Now, if you have more, if you want to do all of these stretches, it's fine. It's a video. You just pause it, right? You just pause the video. You could do as many repetitions as this as you want, right? Let's do the other side. So open up and close it. And again, if this stretch feels better now than it did the first time, then stick with it. Do a bunch of repetitions because you want to reinforce the stability of this muscle, especially now that you remove some of the barriers, okay? The next stretch we would do is for the outside of your shoulders and your neck here. So bring your right arm across your body, grab your wrist, and push up for strength. And pull down and across for your stretch. Your head going to the left to find your neck stretch. And up and down, just like that. And then I'll show you the other side too. But feel free to pause it if you need to. Bring your, which one with this one? Your left arm, bring your left arm across, grab your wrist and push up for strength. And then pull down and across for your stretch. You'll bring your head to the side and find that stretch. And then just go up and down. Up for strength and down for stretch. All right. And then we'll go back to the wall and do this one last time. So now I have my arm in a straight position. It's kind of like if I was grabbing the top corners of the doorway, but just with one arm. And then I'm going to twist in. This is my strength training move. I'm going to open up for stretch. You can hold your ribs in place if you want. It's up to you. For some people, that's too much work. It's like too many steps, too many things to do. Just forward or back is okay in the beginning. And make sure you can find that stretch in the front of your shoulder here. Awesome. And then let's do the other side. So you twist in for strength, then you open up for stretch. Now again, remember, if you want to spend more time on any of these stretches, feel free to. You can pause the video, or you can just, do them while I explain the next group. Jump in on your own time, right? But the most important thing is that you're building trust the whole time through your body, through your muscles, and that they always feel safe no matter what, okay? All right, the next stretch we're gonna go into is for the inside of your thighs. These are called your adductors. What you're gonna do for this one is lay on your back, and we're going to do the splits in the air. It's not really the splits. I mean, it is, but not in this scary way. So bring your hands to the inner thighs, grab your knees, squeeze your legs together. This is gonna activate all of these muscles on the inside, and then use your arms to open you up. You'll find the stretch on your inner thighs, and then squeeze in. You might shake a bunch in this one. It's okay. It's good stuff. Now that you've built this idea of trust, like you understand what your body will feel like when it's safe, like you understand that when you get deep into the stretch and pull back out of it, that builds trust, then we can start being a little bit optimistic about what we can do, right? That trust builds optimism. It makes you hopeful. So if you're feeling any pains or aches or anything, just know that we are going to problem solve. So if this doesn't feel good, it's okay. Skip it. Be optimistic. When you come back the next time, it might work. It just might work. So close for strength and open for stretch. Now, if you felt this in your glutes, or if it feels uncomfortable in your hamstrings, then that's when you would want to skip this stretch, okay? Just do what feels good to you. Or if you have any pain at all. We don't want to do anything that doesn't feel good. All right, and then lay on your back. And we're gonna do a stretch for the outside of your glutes. This is a figure 4 stretch. You're gonna bring your right leg on top of the left, reach through and grab your left leg with both hands. You can have your head down or up. You can even wrap a towel around your leg if you wanted a little more distance there. That would be okay, instead of holding you with your hands interlocked. Then push out for strength, using your right leg to push you out. It's like you're trying to shove your legs away from your body. And then you use your arms to pull you in. So your arms will bring you into this glute stretch for your right side. And then push open for strength. Pull in for stretch. Find the stretch here, right? Trust how far you can go. Reinforce that trust by pushing out of it. And then be hopeful. It'll get better. It always gets better. So just take stock of what you feel. See how that stretch is feeling right here in the glute. If you feel anything on your inner thighs or in your hip flexors, then you can go ahead and stop the stretch. You don't have to do it. We're going to return to it, okay? Let's do one more repetition. Out for strength and in for stretch. And then go ahead and flip it. So you'll bring your left leg to the front. Grab your right leg with both hands. You're going to resist by pushing your left leg away from your body. So I'm really active through my left leg. It's like I'm trying to kick the wall. And then, once you're out as far as you can go, bend your elbows, pull in. See if you can get that stretch through your glutes. And then just go back and forth. So you go out for strength and pull in for your stretch. Out for strength, then in for stretch. Find the stretch in your glutes. Build the trust in your muscle. Recognize where you need to stop and then push back out of it. Every time you find that point, you're reinforcing the stability through the stretch. All of a sudden, instead of being scared of stretching, it becomes something really hopeful. It can be something optimistic. Even if you're the most inflexible person in the world, I can't tell you how many of those people I've met. I know all of them. You are not the only one, I promise you. So if you feel like this is hopeless, like I'm never going to be able to do that, just take a deep breath. Recognize that a small range of motion is fine. Skipping a stretch is totally fine. And if you're like, Carrie, this class is too hard, it's okay. I have an entire playlist on my site that's on my YouTube channel that's called Stretching for the Inflexible. And it's 4 videos, and it takes you through a ton of problem solving. It takes you through every set of stretches and like in easy ways. So if this feels too hard for you, that's where you need to be, okay? Stretching for the inflexible, you're gonna love it. Okay, the next stretch we're gonna do is for your hamstrings. So let's lay on our backs again. Sorry, I like to sit up. You can stay laid on your back. Grab the ball of your foot with both hands. And if you can't reach that, just wrap a towel around your foot or a strap, like a yoga strap would be fine. But it has to be something solid that doesn't have pull to it. It's like a resistance band won't work. But a yoga strap would totally work, or a belt or a towel, okay? Kick your heel down so that you're engaging the hamstring in the back. And then as you pull up, really notice where your body says, that's enough. And if you push yourself out of that stretch at that point, then you're building trust in the muscle. So kicking down for strength, up for your stretch until it's like, there we go, and then kick right back down, reinforcing the trust. Up and down. Down for strength and up for stretch. And all of a sudden, stretching becomes something really optimistic. We can be hopeful, we can be excited, because that moment when you can bend over and touch your toes, it's pretty cool. Like if you've never done it before, I hadn't until I was about 20, I don't know, I was probably 26. My whole life, I could never touch my toes, ever. It was super inflexible. I mean, like a mess, a big mess. And I started doing this, and I was telling some friends about it, and they're like, ooh, can you touch your toes? And I was like, I don't know. And then I bent over and touched my toes that day. And it felt like I'd always been able to do it my whole life. Isn't that so crazy? I called my mom. It was so amazing. Okay, so now kick down. We're going to go for our left leg and use your arms to pull you up. Build that trust in the hamstring. When you know that you can trust yourself, then these muscles will start to open up. Bit by bit, right? Down for strength and up for stretch. Know where you need to stop. Know where you can pull out of. Enjoy the stretch. Okay? Take it on your own terms and recognize that this is where you are today, but there's hope, right? You can do it. Pulling up for your stretch and down for strength. Whatever range of motion you're in is totally fine for you at this point. So don't feel like you need to push. Don't feel like you need to strain to get a deeper stretch. Just find what feels good to you. All right. Now we're going to go into a stretch for our hip flexors. I love this stretch. It won't feel like a stretch. It feels more like you're giving yourself a big hug. I think that's why I like it. So bring your left leg out straight. Take your right leg and hug it. Okay, just give yourself a hug. Now from here, all you're going to do is try to fall back without falling. Okay, so this hip flexor here is going to hold on to you to make sure that you don't fall. It's like a trust fall. You know this like you used to do in like middle school, you go to the thing and you'd have to like fall backwards and everyone would catch you? It's like that, except your body catches you. So you find that place where you can trust that you can get back up and pull yourself back up. It's okay if you don't go very far. It's okay if you think you can still go farther, but you don't feel safe. You pull from where you feel safe, okay? And then maybe each time you test it a little bit and see how that goes. See, have a little bit of optimism here and see what happens. And then pull yourself back up. You'll know you've gone too far because you end up like this. Whoa, okay? That's too far. All right? Just make sure there's nothing behind you that can like crack your head open, okay? Catch yourself, know that you're safe, and then pull back up. This is important, especially as we're building trust, that you understand this idea, okay? That all of your muscles, when they're at their farthest stretched position, when they're stretched as, like this is my longest part of this muscle, here. I can hold myself in that position, fighting gravity, fighting the weight of my upper body, fighting the counterbalance of my leg here, and then I can pull myself back up because I have trust in it. I know that I'm safe there. But if I go too far, if I go here, I can't really pull myself back up with that muscle. I have to use the propelling force of my leg to do it. So you want to find a place where you can really trust yourself. When you understand this principle, then the other stretches will make sense too, because you have that same sensation in every stretch, even if it's a hamstring stretch. You still want to have that feeling of, okay, when I'm in my deepest range of motion, can I get out of it? And you just go back and forth. So back for your stretch and up for strength. Now I switch sides. So now my right leg's in the front. I'm holding my left leg. So you could switch on your own time. Do what feels good to you. And see if you can test that trust to know where you can pull up. Know where your edge is. Okay? And if you're not going very far now, have a little hope, because we're going to do some problem solving. We're going to come back to this one in a second. You'll be surprised. It'll feel more stable after we've done these stretches again. It's the magic. It's the Ki-Hara magic. All right, lay on your back. Let's revisit these stretches. I'm just going to do a couple. You are welcome to do as many as you want. So we're going to move kind of quick through this routine. You most likely do not need all 4 stretches, so just do the ones that you feel like you needed a little extra boost on. Kick your legs together, open with your arms. I'm holding my knees to stretch my inner thighs. This is our adductor stretch. splits in the air. So kick in for strength and open up for your stretch. You can stick with this one if this is what you need, or you can go into your glute stretch. Chances are you only need one or the other, okay? So here's our glute stretch. Bring your right leg on top, grab behind your left leg with both hands, push away for strength, and pull in for stretch. Find the stretch through your glute. Recognize that maybe you can go a little bit further. How's that, huh? See how this just reinforces? It reinforces the trust, but it also reinforces that bit of optimism that you had before. If you're like, well, I can never do this. Well, now you know you can, right? Sometimes you just need a little bit of proof, right? Out for strength and in for stretch. You can tell I needed this one because I was like, I'm only going to do a couple, and then I did like 7. Okay, so now push out for strength. We'll do the other side. My left leg's on top, my right leg's on the bottom, and I'm holding with my hands. And I'm going to pull in for my stretch. I get the glute stretch in the left. Out for strength and in for stretch. Do as many as you feel like you need, okay? But feel that stretch in the left glute. You know, sometimes I think in life, right, we trust certain things, right? Like we can build trust. We can trust that something's going to happen. We can believe in it. We can be optimistic. We can be hopeful. But that only goes so far. At a certain point, you kind of have to like have the proof, right? It's almost like you have to accept that it changed. You accept that like, okay, this did happen this time, so it can happen again, right? Like if you're confused, if you're lost, if you're feeling like all hope is lost, like don't worry about it. Life is going to be okay. All right, what am I doing getting up? I got all excited. Let's go back to our hamstrings. Sit back, grab the ball of your foot with both hands, kick down for strength, and pull up for stretch. And so now you're not just reinforcing the strength portion or the stretch, you're reinforcing that you're trusting of your body, and you're also reinforcing that the hope and the optimism that you had before was valid, right? There's proof in the pudding. There's proof in your hamstrings. So down for strength and up for your stretch, and you just go back and forth, finding the stretch in the back of your leg. It probably feels a little better. And then let's switch and do the other side, kicking down for strength and pulling up for stretch. And you just go back and forth. Reinforcing the trust. Reinforcing the trust in yourself that when you were hopeful for change, that it actually happened. Oh, it's a good feeling. It's not just in your muscles, but like in your soul, right? Sometimes I need it, you know? Sometimes it's really hard to trust. It's really hard to feel hopeful. And I really pride myself on being optimistic, sometimes to a fault. But there's always that little piece in the back of your mind that's like, yeah, right. Not going to work. It's not going to happen. It's, you're going to be miserable forever, right? That's not true. It's just not true. There's always something that changes. Everything adapts. Like you're constantly changing, right? So let's grab our right leg, put the left leg straight out, and then just tip back and test how far you can go. Maybe a little further. Maybe a little more trust this time, right? And then back up. That feels a lot better to me. Back for stretch. And that point where you think maybe that's it. Maybe you have a little bit more. Ooh. Nope, that was too much. Just enjoy the fact that something's changed. Okay? I'm laughing at myself. I think these classes are more for my own enlightenment than anything else, I have to say. But I'm definitely laughing at myself. Sometimes when things don't work the first time. Going through and cleaning up all your junk, right? Will help for it to work the next time. I don't know if you guys have been through this in this lockdown. I definitely have been going through a lot of growth and change, fighting a lot of my demons, working through a lot of my, like, I hate to say like karmic issues, but like the deep fears, the deep struggles, the really big problems. I've been working through a lot of it. And as I'm doing that, I find that as I return to the same kind of patterns, the same kind of things that really bothered me before, I don't have the same kind of response that I did before. I feel a lot more trusting. I feel a lot more optimistic, a lot more hopeful. Is that, I accept, I forgive so easily now, right? I think it's important. It's important to have this kind of space, this like fun hermit time to explore your own psyche, to realize what kind of things are coming up. So as much as lockdown can be really confining and can really can suck in a lot of ways, it can also be really enlightening. And it can be this, for some of us it's not so much, but for some of us it's really a gift where we can start to see things that we wouldn't have seen otherwise. How amazing is that? All right, let's go into a stretch for our chest and shoulders. So it's also for your calves. We're going to go into all fours. Come up to straight legs. Push with your feet up so that you're up on your tippy toes as high as you can go. And when you do that, your shoulders come over your hands. But notice my hips are still bent and I'm not in a plank position. Then I'm going to push with my arms to bring my heels to the floor and push my head through. You should feel the stretch in your calves, but maybe also in your shoulders. So up for strength and push through for stretch. If you feel anything uncomfortable, then you've gone too far. So make sure that you build the trust in this stretch. Trust where you can be, trust where you feel good. If this feels tough on your wrists or if it hurts in your shoulders, then don't do it. Because you can trust yourself enough to know not to do something that doesn't feel good. Accept where you are at this point in time. Because change happens, right? It's all about accepting yourself for where you are and working within those places. And every day, you're going to be a different person. Every time you come back, your muscles are going to be different, your body's going to be different. So you'll need to forgive the past and accept where you are right now, understanding that maybe you could go a little bit further tomorrow than you did today, or you could, you're going a little further today than you did yesterday, or maybe it's reversed. Maybe you could do this in the past and now you can't. That's okay. Accept where you are. Forgive the fact that the past happens. Like, crap happens. It's okay. Bring your hands together and put your thumbs right on top of your head so that your thumbs just hover right over the crown of your head. And then we're going to squeeze our elbows together, finding the stretch in the back of your shoulders. Open up for strength and close it for your stretch. Work in the range that feels good to you. So find the place where your body says that's enough and then push back out so you can reinforce the trust, right? Understand that we're going to come back to these stretches, okay? We're going to problem solve through today. So if this doesn't work today, it's okay to skip it, right? It's okay to have hope that if it's not working so much right now, that it may work in like 5 minutes, so give it some time. Opening up for strength and closing for stretch. And then really take a second to appreciate your body for what it's doing. Be grateful for where you are. Accept your body for where it is right now. It's okay. You are okay right where you are right now. You're doing the right thing. Okay? Whew. Wow. Good job, you guys. So good. Okay, let's work on the top of our shoulders next. So you're going to bring your right arm into the side and grab your wrist with your left hand and then push up for strength. And use your top arm here, your left arm to push you down for your stretch. This is for your deltoid, the top of your shoulder. It might not feel like much, and that's okay. You probably just feel like a burn in the top of your shoulder. So you just go up and down. Up for strength and down for stretch. Find the stretch on the top of your shoulder. If you want to, you can add your neck in at the end by bringing your left ear to your left shoulder. Oh, that's my microphone. You guys keep doing that stretch. I ordered a fancy microphone, just like Britney Spears, you know? So once I get this all set up, the microphone's actually here. It's the thing that I need to use to plug it in to my computer. I didn't realize that plug wasn't going to be here. So I had to order a whole new one. When you're ready, let's switch sides. So bring your left arm into the side, grab your wrist, and try to pull both directions. So push up for strength and down for stretch. When you get to the bottom, if you want, you can bring your ear over to the right side, your right ear to your right shoulder, and you just go up and down. Up for strength and down for stretch. And you just go back and forth, up and down. And really just accept where you are at the time. Move up and down for strength. Move in the range that feels good to you. Accept that that range is just fine. Bring your head to the side if that feels good. Recognize where your body wants to be. And just really give it that feeling of acceptance for where you are. If you find yourself like kind of beating yourself up about the fact that you can't bend your head to the side or you can't quite figure this out, just take a deep breath. Forgive yourself for not really quite understanding what to do right now. That's okay. It's okay to not understand. It's okay to not really know what you're doing, right? Especially if you're just getting started. Or, if life's changing or things are weird, you get a million things on your mind, right? Take a breath, forgive yourself. We're all learning as we go, right? And then accept where you are at this exact point in time. Oh, it's a good one. Okay, now let's get into our lats. What I want to do is a side lunge kind of. So you're going to bring your right leg out to the side. Switch that. Bring your left leg out to the side. Tuck your right leg in. Take your right arm and bring it up to your ear. And then grab your elbow. Nope, sorry. I'm getting two stretches confused. There's a really great stretch that goes like this, different stretch. We don't want to do that one. Your left leg in. I'm too busy thinking about my Amazon package. So excited. Okay, so my right leg's tucked in. I'm going to take my right arm and just bring it right behind my back and grab my elbow with the other hand. And then you're going to try to pull both arms apart. So you're going to activate your lats by trying to shove your elbows down. And then from here, you're going to pull with your left arm towards your left foot. And find this stretch from your armpit down to your hip. Just move in the range that feels good. Go back and forth, up and down. If this leg positioning doesn't feel good to you, you can switch how you're sitting. You can sit however you want, as long as you feel stable and as long as your hips feel like they're on the ground, because you want to pull your elbow, this elbow and this shoulder away from this hip. So you need to keep the hip on the ground so that you can stay, so that you can get the deep stretch. If you lift your hip off the ground, then you won't get the stretch in the same way. All right, let's switch sides. So bring your left leg in, take your right leg out. Take your left arm and just put it right behind your neck here. Grab your elbow with your other hand and try to pull both arms apart. And then pull across towards your right foot. See if you can find the stretch on the outside of your body. And then come up for strength and over for your stretch. Find the stretch. Keep your hips on the ground. Find the place where you can trust where you are in the stretch. So you go to the point where you start to feel it, just really tug on that line, and then you pull right back up. So you feel safe the entire time. If you ever don't feel safe, then you've gone too far, right? Know that we're going to come back to the stretch, so it's just going to get even better. And accept where you are right now. One more, okay? So All right, now we're going to revisit these stretches kind of in a quick way. So we're going to do a couple of each. Chances are you'll only need one or two of them, okay? So feel free to stick through which ones feel best to you. All right, so bring your hands down, come into this downward dog type position. You're going to come up onto your toes, and then use your arms to push you down to your heels and push your head through. Forward for strength. And back for stretch. Take a second in the stretch to really forgive yourself for anything that's troubling you right now. Really accept where you are. Love yourself unconditionally. It's such a great stretch for that. It's really like a heart-opening stretch. Use your arms to push you through. Oh, it's so good. I might just hang out here. I know I said a couple. Like I said, sometimes we need a little bit extra. Oh, it's so good. Problem solving is amazing, you guys. Holy cow, I feel like a different person. All right, bring your hands together, your thumbs over your head, and squeeze your elbows. This one at the back of your shoulders. And just give yourself that unconditional love of like, I am good right where I am. I accept myself right where I am, even if it's just this far. Even if you can't even do this stretch, it's okay, right? Accept where you are for the moment. Forgive yourself, it's okay, right? Okay. And now, our deltoids. So bring your right arm into the side, grab your wrist on the top, push up for strength, down for stretch, and bring your head to the left to find your next stretch. Up for strength, down for stretch. Let go of the past, let go of anything you've been holding on to, and just accept where you are right now. Because it's awesome. You are awesome. So good. So good. All right, and then we're going to do the other side. So bring your left arm in, grab your wrist with your right hand, push up for strength, and down for stretch. And this time, bring your right ear to your right shoulder. And really enjoy where you are right now at this very moment. Up for strength. And down for stretch. Up and down. Give yourself all that love because you deserve it. Up for strength and down for stretch. Bring your right ear to your right shoulder. And if you're ready to move on to the next stretch, bring your left leg out to the side, your right leg in. Take your right arm and bring it right behind your shoulder blades and your neck. Grab your elbow and resist like you're trying to pull both arms apart. And then pull towards your left foot. Then up for strength. So you guys, it's amazing. These stretches are amazing. I've been doing this for 13 years. 13! And it still blows my mind how I can feel so good after just going through one series and coming back to it later. This problem solving is amazing. It's just about understanding how your body works, right? That's all it is. It's understanding that your body works as a team, that everything works together. No one piece is better than the other, right? So true. All works as a team. Okay, so now bring your right leg out. Take your left arm and just rest it behind your shoulder blades, like kind of by your neck, by your spine, whatever feels good. Bring your right leg out to the side also, or your left leg, sorry. And then resist by trying to pull your arms apart. And then pull this time towards your right foot, finding that stretch in the outside of your body. Oh, sweet mama. And then up for strength and over for your stretch. Take a second to just really give yourself this acceptance, unconditional love. Forgive yourself for anything that's bugging you right now, anything that's really on your mind. Doesn't matter what it is, right? It could be something as simple as like, I didn't do the dishes, my house is a mess, right? Or something really complicated, like problems with friends or issues with money, or maybe you're not working right now. There could be all sorts of things that you're beating yourself up about. Just forgive yourself right now. You can right now take that second to forgive. Oh, that's so good. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. I am loving it. Now let's see. We need to do, oh yes, quads. Okay. I want to really dive into the front of our quads and opening up the front of our body so that this goddess pose that we were working on at the beginning can really help out. Now, if this doesn't feel good to you, you don't need to do it, okay? But what I want you to do is find a place where you can be on your knees with your toes bent like this, if that feels good. Take your hands and put your fingertips together with your thumbs pointing out and grab your ankles, okay? If you can't reach here, or if you can't sit down all the way, just stay up like this, okay? Now, what we're gonna do is curl in as much as you can towards the floor. So you curl, 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 curl to touch the floor, if you can. Then you lift up, bring your head back. See how my shoulders are still forward? You're gonna bring your shoulders back, and then you lift your hips and come up into like a back bend. It's sort of like camel pose in yoga. And you just go back and forth, okay? I'm gonna show you an easy version first. So say you're here, okay? What you would do is just bend your hips to where you feel comfortable, and then just bring your hips forward and kind of lean back, and just go back and forth like that. If that doesn't feel good, then just skip this for now, okay? If it does feel good, let's stick with it. Down for strength, and up for stretch. It might be that you stop here. It might be that you stop here. It might be that you go full into the stretch. It might be that you go full into the back bend. It's up to you, okay? You find what works the best for you. If this bothers your knees, just skip today. Take the second to really open up the front of your body, to understand that sometimes we hold tension and problems in our muscles. And if you want to release things in your life, you have to also release them in your body. Down for strength and up for your stretch. Ooh, so good. Okay, now the next stretch you're going to do is for your inner thighs. So go ahead and lay on your back. Bring your right leg up and grab your heel with your right hand. Kick down for strength and pull up for your stretch. And see if you can find your hamstring on the inside right through here. Just take it nice and easy. Find that stretch in the right way, in the good way. Trust that you can stretch to the place that feels good for you. Be optimistic that it can change and grow, right? That things can be different. Give yourself some love, right? Unconditional love. Forgiveness, acceptance, accept who you are, accept where you can go, accept what your body will do. And then just give a little bit of understanding to the fact that everything's interrelated. And as you let go of things in your body, you're going to let go of things in the outside too. And vice versa. Switch sides. Grab your left leg with your left hand. Kick down for strength and pull up for your stretch. And you're just going to go back and forth. Kicking down, coming up, finding a place where you can trust your body. Find a little bit of hope for today. What are you going to do today with your life? Where can you be optimistic? What are you not being optimistic about? And can you let that go? Can you turn it around? Can you change it? And then can you forgive yourself for not being optimistic, right? When you start to do these things, your life starts to have a little more meaning. It starts to feel like there's a reason for it all, right? It's the good stuff. This is the good stuff, my friends. I feel like I'm going really over on time. Nope, I'm perfect. Awesome. Okay, let's have a seat then and go into our groin stretch. So bring your feet together like a butterfly and your elbows on your knees, and then push down and sweep open for your stretch. So up for strength and open for stretch. Find this stretch in your inner thighs and your groin area, right through here. In for strength, then open for stretch. Only work in the place that feels good. So we want to trust, right? Number one, build that trust in your body. Number two, have some optimism, right? If it doesn't work now, it'll work later. If you can't get very far today, that's okay, right? Accept yourself for where you are, right? Forgive yourself if it feels bad or if it doesn't, if it's not good. Just drop all that stuff. Who cares? Just accept where you are at the time. And then understand where you are. Give it some reason, right? What is the reason you're doing this? Why are you doing this? What's the meaning behind it? What's the purpose of it all, right? In the stretch, of course, it starts there, but then it gets bigger. What's the reason for all of it? What's the meaning behind it? When you can find meaning, then that's when life really opens up. So see if you can find that today or in yourself. I think it's kind of it's the solution when you're finding that you can't forgive, right? It's understanding that, someone or something or yourself thought you were doing the right thing at the time, or you were doing what you needed to do at the time, and that's okay, and you can forgive that, right? It's an easy thing to forgive. When you say, oh, well, you were working with the tools you had, that's okay. So bring your bring your left leg up, take your right arm and grab the outside of your foot. And we're gonna go into a stretch for your lateral hamstring. To get this outside hamstring, we have to internally rotate. So we're gonna turn our knee in towards our right shoulder. So I twist in from my femur. Then you're gonna kick down for strength and pull up for stretch. Down for strength, then up for stretch, finding that trust, finding the hope, finding the acceptance of where you are, and understanding what's going on in this stretch, right? It's kind of a hard one to understand. Do you have any idea where you're going? You're internally rotated, so your leg is going from the left to the right, but up and down at the same time. Crazy. And it's okay if you don't understand, just forgive yourself and let yourself be where you are at this time. Now bring your right leg up and let your left arm cross over. Twist your arm in towards your left elbow so you get an internal rotation, and then kick down for strength and pull up for your stretch. You're pulling up this time over your left ear and down towards the right edge of your hip to find the stretch on the outside of your hamstring. And you just go up and down. Down for strength, then up for stretch. Now, each time you go into the stretch, you can just let go of all that negativity. Give life meaning instead, right? Anytime you're fighting something in your own mind, you're fighting something in your body, you're fighting with other people, just give it meaning. There's a reason for all of it. There's a reason for everything. It may just not be the reason that you like, right? But just because, something, it may be that there's some other lesson that needs to be learned, there's something different that needs to happen. So now let's find our goddess squat again. This is the stretch we started with. This is our stretch of the day. Find a wide leg stance. Bend your knees to come into this squat. Bring your arms up and open up wide. And really open up the front of your body and find this squat. And then if we want to come out of it, bring your arms together. Come up here. And then back down into the squat with your arms nice and wide, opening up the front of your body. And back and forth. If this doesn't feel good, then you're going too far, okay? Just find a place where you feel really good in the squat. Goddess squat is what we call it. Whew. Awesome, my friends. Good work today. You're such a goddess, even if you're not. If you're a, man, you can still, accept the goddess in you, I suppose. Oh, my hair. It's all over the place. All right, my friends, I appreciate you, and I'm so glad you're here. Thank you so much for everybody who's given me likes, the thumbs up, do that. For everybody who's left comments and who has shared this with your friends. Be sure to subscribe to my channel by clicking that little button in the corner. And if you push the little bell icon that comes up after you subscribe, then you'll get notifications whenever I have class, okay? We have live class Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9 a.m., so be sure you sign up. Also, I just started, I'm out of breath. Oh, that got us spot. We've just started putting together self-stretch certifications done online. It's amazing. So if you love Ki-Hara and you want to learn all about it and how I do these classes and how the problem solving works, and you just want to dive really deep into it, then send me a little note. Just go to my website. It's in the description below. Click on the stretchchi.com website and leave me a little message in there's a box, you fill it out, leave me a message. Let me know if you're interested and I'll send you more information, okay? All right, my friends, thank you so much for all your love and support, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye-bye.